to ask me anything. So, okay, so the marketplace changed a lot, right? When I started working on LinkedIn, and I'm gonna focus on LinkedIn today. When I started working on LinkedIn, it was, you were allowed to send 200 connection requests, I think per week, or I don't know, or a day, I don't know, it was crazy. So the strategy on LinkedIn was all about having a lot of conversations, having a lot of numbers, having a lot of people talking, and eventually you sell your program to someone. So what happens is that more and more people have been doing that, and a lot of people on LinkedIn are getting really burned out because there's a lot of pitches and there's a lot of called, messages that they're trying to sell you something even before they connect with you. So it's becoming really difficult to have conversations with people, and especially because people on LinkedIn, whereas and the average human would spend about 2 hours a day on Facebook, the average LinkedIn user would spend about 17 minutes. Now, what that generates is that it makes really hard and slow and sluggish to have conversations here on LinkedIn, because the people don't spend a lot of time. And you've noticed that conversations tend to get very long in time. Whereas in Facebook, like, people spend a lot of time in there, and people on Facebook, they're just basically wasting their time because they don't have anything better to do. It's a different kind of mindset, different kind of platform. So I also got a little bit tired of having all these conversations and being seen as someone who's trying to pitch, someone who's trying to sell, because even sometimes people would respond to me to the "hey, let's connect" message with "what you're doing is wrong," and getting really pissed because just at the hello. So we've decided to change the strategy. Now I'm going to be sharing as well my screen on LinkedIn to show you how it works. But basically, the first thing that I want you guys to understand is that if this is the process or the timeline of one of your prospects, and here is prospect, and here is the client, and this is the buyer's journey. Buyer's journey. Okay, now what happens is that we're gonna divide this buyer's journey in 3 different parts. We're gonna, what colors are we gonna use? We're gonna use blue for the initial part here, which is the client is cold, they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, but they are in your network. Somehow they are in your connections, but they haven't seen your content, they don't know who you are. Then we have this area here, which is for all the clients that they already know you, like you, and trust you, but they're not yet ready to buy anything from you because this is not where they are in their journey. And then there's gonna be the last bit, which are the super warm leads. These people are ready to pull the trigger, they are ready to buy. So how it affects your client is with the level of commitment. Commitment here is very low. Commitment here is kind of okay. And commitment here is very high. So what it means is that the way I'm talking to someone here, it's going to be very different to the way I'm going to be talking to someone here and the way I'm going to be talking to someone here. And if you, for example, Henry is ready to buy from me, he wants to jump on my program because he's seen enough, he's been in my network for a long time, and Henry and I start talking here, and I start talking here as if he was in this stage, he's gonna go like, what the fuck, Carlos? Why are you asking me these questions as if I didn't know who you are? I know who you are and know the results you get. What are you doing? So I would be increasing the buyer's resistance. On the other hand, if we do the opposite, and we come here and we start talking here to someone who just got in our network, and we say, hey, let's jump on a call, I can help you with your business. That's gonna elevate the buyer's resistance through the roof, because you're talking to someone who doesn't know who you are as if they were ready to buy from you. So what we want to have is a streamlined process or a streamlined strategy. And I say streamline because you don't want to be doing all the things all the time. You don't want to be sending messages, jumping on interviews, running your own podcasts, replying emails, and adding new people. Like there's a lot of things that you can do to get people on board on LinkedIn and convert them into clients. But you don't want to do, you want to have a process that is simple, that is streamlined, that when something fails in the middle of the process, you just go and fix it and everything else keeps working automatically. Now, is this making sense? And I know we know a lot of people, so just type in the chat box, and if it makes sense, type yes. So I know that I'm not going too fast. And if you have any question, let me know. And there's only 5 people on the call, so I expect everyone to drop a yes. Okay. Okay, thumbs up, beautiful. So now we understand this. We understand this process, how it should be, or what. And they were welcome to the call. So what we want now, instead of doing like direct messages and content and email and what else, and follow up, and having the CRM and just going to the CRM of this person, I need to follow up next month, and then taking triage calls, and then taking sales calls. Like there's a lot to do here. And while you need to write the content, you need to put the content, and you also probably want to have a life. So what we want is a streamlined process that you do something here, and you have an input and you get the output. And then there's going to be steps through the process, and if everything is aligned, and once everything is in place, you just need to turn the tap on one side and read the results or collect the results on the other side. So this is what we are looking at. And by the way, I'm an engineer, by the ones that don't know me, and I love processes and I love systems. And if things make sense and work, then I'm happy. So how do we do that? Now, what you want on every social media platform with your audience is to build trust. Build trust with your audience, and you want to do it at scale. So we do that with content. We do that with relationships on DMs. We do that in multiple ways. We do interviews. We do lives, like podcast. We do that because we want to get our message out there, and the more people get to know about you, they hear your voice, they see your face, they see you smile, they learn about you, and they build this trust. Now, what happens is that which one of these is going to be the most powerful? All of them? Are you going to be doing lives, interviews, podcasts, workshops, webinars, and also attending to workshops, webinars, podcasts, interviews, replying messages? Like there is so much to do that I promise if you try to do them all, you'll do nothing. And I did it as well. And you're always trying to get people from a DM conversation, you keep following up, and then one day they book a call. And what happens on that call is like, fine, this person doesn't have any money. They're not qualified. They just, is not the person that is not an ideal client. And then you've wasted all the time. So what we want to do is we want to maximize results, minimize the time invested. So are we all happy with that? You want to work less, make more, without sacrificing your client results, without under delivering, and having time to have a life. So there is something really cool that LinkedIn has created recently. And here's the whole system, okay? This is the whole system that we're using. And I'm going to show you first of all, we ran this workshop last week. I'm going to show you, some of you attended. This is the workshop we ran last week. We had 900 and let's see if it opens. We had 924 people attending. Well, not attending, sorry, registered. Now, LinkedIn has created a really cool thing now, and shout out to LinkedIn, that what it allows you is that when you create a live an event, instead of using your profile, you use a company page, as I used here. They created something called lead gen form, that what it allows you is to connect in real time these events to your CRM. When I say CRM, is an email autoresponder, and I'm going to show you how mine looks like. That doesn't mean that you need to use that one. What it means that it works really well for us. So basically, 900 of these people here, they come from the LinkedIn event, and this all happens automatically. I'm going to show you the details on how you do that. Now, this is one of the biggest things, right? Now we got like 1,000 more people in our email list. Some of these people don't want to be there, so they're gonna opt out, or they didn't opt in, but you know, at some other point they might receive some emails from us, and then we deliver the workshop. The workshop that was about 200 people. Now, guess what is one of the fastest ways? Let me share my screen again. Let me do something. One of the fastest ways that you have to build authority and trust with your people is talking to them. When they hear you speak, when they hear you talk, when they hear you deliver, when they hear from you the results that you're able to generate for our clients, when they spend time with you. This is what we did when we didn't have the internet, right? Which is we would network. This is the things that we did. We would go to events and networking stuff. So it's one of the fastest ways. Now, because it's COVID and because this is the online world, sorry, I'm just trying to share my screen, but I can't. So I'm gonna do it the old way. One of the fastest ways is to create live events. You create live events. And when you create a live event here, people are going to see you speak. They're going to see you live. You're going to be able to share your story. They're going to hear your voice. They're going to be able to communicate with you. They're going to be able to get access to you, and that's going to make you. That's going to get them through the know, like, and trust process very fast. Now, what happened before is they would you run like a workshop, you get like 10, 20 people. 20 people, like 5 or 6 would show up. And then out of the 5 or 6, it was very difficult to scale. So now we find this strategy, and what we are doing again is to run these workshops. Instead of running them every week, we run them instead of running them every month, we run them every second month. And in between the time that we run the event, because this is a monthly, every second month. So that gives you time to promote it, invite people. And this is something that you can do on LinkedIn in 10 minutes. You can do it yourself, or you can get your VA, and it's very easy to do. You just invite people from the event into your first degree connections. Now you have 2 months to promote the event. You don't have only 4. So you're going to put a lot more people in there. You can promote it in your content, in your email, in your LinkedIn newsletter. Basically, sorry for my writing. Basically, what you want to do within these 2 months is to keep promoting these events. And that is going to generate all these calls booked here. Like from the event, we generate about 30 calls right away, right in. Now, this is not from random people. This is from people that have been there for 90 minutes, that understand what we do, how we help people. And at the end, we pitch a call. We don't pitch the program. We don't sell anything on the workshop. We say, hey, if you want to see if what we do is going to work for you, you're ready to invest in the growth of your business or in whatever it is that you're helping people, then book a call. Please, if you're not ready to invest in yourself, and in the growth of the business, please don't book a call. This is very only for people who are ready to take action. Now, at this stage, you've done a good job presenting your workshop. They get a really good understanding of what you do, how they can then help. So the people that book these calls are really, really qualified. So now you got all these people that you're going to talk. And remember that that's the work that you've been doing for 2 months. So, you know, if you, let's say your program is $5,000, if it's in the low range, and you get 20 calls, let's say that you're not very good at closing these people, so out of the 20, you convert 30%, so that would be 6 people. You get 6 people, now you're making 6 times 5, this is $30,000, is it? Yeah, $30,000 only from the workshop. If things go bad, because, you know, like if you get 20 people qualified leads on the phone, you should be able to convert at least 50%, but let's assume a worst case scenario. So that's every second month. Now, if you remember this thing up here, what we do is we don't send any more messages to people say, hey, let's book a call. Hey, let's jump on a quick virtual coffee. Hey, this is something that I demonstrated myself to be like the biggest time waster on LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn, everyone seems to be willing to jump on a call to pick your brain or to connect and collab, or all these things that, look, I rarely spend time with that because I've never got anything good out of it. If what you're looking is to get clients out of this approach. Like, I got amazing connections and I know a lot of great people. And when I'm looking to connect with people at this level, I just definitely spend time with that. But when I'm prospecting, when I'm spending time to find new clients, this is very, very, very expensive in terms of ROI. You spend a lot of time and the results are very minimal. So what do we do with all these people who are in your network and who might be in one of these 2 areas? Actually, not only in one of these 2, but also we want to do something with these people here. During these 2 months, what we do during these 2 months, I'm going to write it here. This is month 1, and this is month 2. What we do is we promoting 3 different things. We're running 3 different campaigns, and these campaigns can run on an automation, which I don't recommend, but there is one out there that has been working really well with us. Or you can get a VA for $5 or $10 an hour and get them to message your first degree connections. And why 3 campaigns? Because these 3 campaigns, you don't want to have like 7 different things that you're running. You don't want to try to get people on the phone and send them like a freebie and then promoting the workshop. And then like you want to have absolute clarity on the 3 things that you're going to be for the next 2 months. And the outcome, of course, is there's 2 outcomes here. First one, get people on the workshop, on the event, because the event is your opportunity to sell your programs or your services without selling. Again, we don't sell anything on the workshop. We just talk to people, we add a ton of value, and then from there, we invite them to jump on a call if they feel like they want to learn how to work with us. So very qualified leads. The second thing that we are going to do is to generate calls. And why generate calls? We generate calls in the workshop, yes, but these calls happen once every second month. What we want in between is to have a flow of calls that keep happening even before and after the workshop. And for that, we use these three campaigns. And these 3 campaigns, let's remember the colors here. So we have one that is for our warmest leads. There is another one that is for people who are a little bit there. And then there's other people that they don't know who we are, where they just getting to know us. And what's the difference with that? The difference is the level of commitment that they require for each one of these people. Because if I say, hey, Henry, oh man, happy to be connected. I hope you're doing amazing. whatever. We have like a quick chit chat and say, hey, look, by the way, I'm running this free workshop with this for, I don't know, let's say that Henry is what do you do, Henry? What is your niche? What's your business, if you don't mind sharing? I don't know if Henry's here. Well, let's say that Henry is a consultant or works in finances, and say, hey, Henry, by the way, I'm running this free event where I'm going to teach people that work in finances how to scale their business, or how to work less, or how to hire teams, or how to manage like a high productive team. Would you like to participate? So now this is something that it's free. You know, he might say yes, and he might register and say yes to the event. When he says yes to the event, he's already shown me his interest in what I do, and I get his email. So he's already in my funnel. Maybe he's going to buy now, maybe he's going to buy next month, maybe next year. It doesn't matter, because what we do is we keep adding people into the funnel, okay? We keep adding people here, and remember that this is how it works. These people here are almost ready to take the next step. These people here are very cold. Sorry, I'm making a mess with the messages, and then with the colors. And these people here are ready to buy. So what we want is to keep adding people into the top of the funnel in a way that we don't have to have conversations with all of them, but they keep being nurtured. So what we do is we send these three campaigns. The first one, it could be, hey, you want to attend to my workshop? I'm going to help accountants to make $100,000 in the next 6 months. I don't know, whatever. I'm just making it up. The second one, it could be something that, for example, what I'm using is something that is like, it's an assessment. So what I give people is like, it's an assessment that it's a questionnaire that they go through. They respond some answers, and it's going to give them a result. So they get something for free that they get to fill out in exchange of something that's going to give them value. On top of that, when they finish this assessment, they get access to a LinkedIn training. So it's a win-win for everyone. I get a very valuable information from these people. I'm getting their email. They get a free training. And at the end of this training, what it says is, like, hey, if you want to know more, happy to book like a free virtual coffee or a free chat. Now, at this stage, they already learn a lot about you, hopefully from your clients as well, and what the results they can get from you, so they can book a call from the assessment. And the last one, it could be, for example, an ebook. Now, the commitment and the time that it takes for someone who doesn't know you to read a book. I mean, if someone sends me a book and I don't know who they are, I'm not interested in what they're doing because I don't know them, like them, or trust them, and sends me a book, am I gonna sit there? I don't read posts from people that I am not interested. I'm gonna read a book. There's no way. So you wanna have a combination here of three things that you're going to be promoting on autopilot, or you're going to have a VA that's going to send these messages to these people, and all these things are going to lead to the workshop. All these things are going to lead to the workshop. Of course, in between the workshop and here, they're going to get access to a phone call as well if they want to. And when they click on the button to book a call, they also will go through a little questionnaire that's going to give you the information that you need to understand if they are a good lead or not, if you're going to spend this time on the phone or not. So the result of that is that you get ready one workshop with a topic that you can be running every 2 months. So you can tweak it a little bit. Now we're going to run the next one on the same topic, but we're going to make some tweaks. So it doesn't require to create a completely new workshop. And then you're going to be promoting it for 2 months. And then you're going to have 3 things that you're going to be promoting at the same time. These 3 things are going to be 3 things that are going to hit on your 3 different kinds of audience. People who are really, really hot, and they might be booking a call right away before the workshop. People who are getting warm up to you, who might become like someone that gets on the phone also soon, but it doesn't matter because what you want is keep warming them up so you get people from one stage to the next stage. And when they make it to the workshop, at the end of the workshop, you're going to offer them a call and you can send them a follow-up email. And that's what we did. People book like about 20 calls out of the first pitch that we did on the workshop. Not pitch, we offer the call. And then there is a follow-up sequence emails that it comes on the second, it sends them an email 2 days later and say, hey, by the way, we have this assessment here that if you haven't done, it's going to give you some really cool information about where you are in your business or in your life. But honestly, you already went through the workshop, and I think it would be a great time to book a call if you feel that what we do is a fit for you. And from here, what happened is like we got the calls booked in. And this all happened without us doing absolutely anything. Of course, you need to put the workshop in place and you need to create the presentations and whatnot. But this is something that you do once, and once it's done, you don't need to touch it anymore. From the workshop, we got 20 calls on day one. And then day two, they received an email. And this email would generate another 10 calls, plus 19 people took the assessment. So now what we've generated without doing anything, without like, honestly, like while we were sleeping, is to generate 30 calls and another 20 leads that they share with us, like very valuable information. They got into the email sequence, and now they're going to be receiving our information, and we're going to let them know when it's going to work the next workshop. So guess what? These things are always the same. These things that we promote are always the same. Now I've got it's a 5 steps to your ideal niche, the assessment, the impact assessment that we're having, and my ebook. Now, next month, instead of the 5 keys to the perfect niche, am I gonna create one that says how to reduce 10 hours a week of your of work while duplicating or replicating the biggest month of the year in revenue. And it takes me, honestly, it takes me like 30 minutes to 1 hour to create a little piece of content I give for free. And that's going to help you identify the people that might be interested in what you do. And secondly, build authority in front of these people. Because if Henry's talking to me or Liz talking to me, and I'm telling you, hey, look, here's how I can help you, like work 10 hours less every week and make $20,000 more without working anything more than what you already do. And that's like, wow, okay. If you're talking to your niche and your niche is, you understand what they need, now you're building trust and a lot of authority. Make sense? I mean, there's a lot of information that I dropped here, but it's that simple. It is that simple. Now, let me show you how this works. When you go onto your profile, you all should have you go into your experience. You want to have a company. You want to have a business, have a business page that you've created, that you're going to use to create events. Okay, for example, mine one, it's called it's got the iconic CEO live events. But my current position here, it's become a speaker in 2022, which is the last workshop that we did, because what it shows up on your career experience is the title, not the name of the company. So guess what? Now I'm going to go, and when I come up with the name for the next event, I'm going to create it. I'm going to create the events. I'm going to put the link here so people can register, and I'm going to change my job description. What happens when you change your job description is that everyone in your network gets notified and say, hey, Liz has got a new job as become a TEDx speaker in 2022. And then what happens is that if you, by any means, are interested in becoming a TEDx speaker in 2022, the title of my position will catch your attention. So what you do next is you land on my profile, you check my position, and you see that I'm running a workshop. So you're leveraging a lot of your time by using a platform that notifies your prospects for you. And then once we do that, we create this little automation that it's called Zapier, and Zapier, it connects with, let me show you. I mean, look, all these things need to be set up once they're set up, you forget about them. And they're very easy to set up. For example, this one, oh, sorry, not the one. What it does is it connects LinkedIn. And again, don't think that this is a super expensive kind of thing. What it connects is LinkedIn to our CRM. And here, every time that someone says, yes, I want to attend the workshop, this is what happens. There is a registration form, a response, which is the event, the LinkedIn lead gen form, which belongs to my page here. And again, this is something that LinkedIn does automatically. You don't need to set up anything. It's done. You just come here, you set it up here, and you connect the things, and you say, well, when the Iconic CEO live events, at the event this happens, someone says yes. What I want is that everyone goes into my CRM. My CRM is the place where emails are being sent. So everyone comes here, they get a tag. That means that I can spot them on my CRM, and everyone has the same LinkedIn event tag here. And that's all. They all come from LinkedIn, and happy days. And then they're receiving the sequence of emails that I have previously set out to warm them up to my, are you guys seeing my screen? Yes. To warm them up and to learn more about me and what they're gonna learn on the workshop. And not only they gonna learn about the things that happened before the workshop, I'm gonna be talking about things that happen after the workshop. So again, yes, there is a little bit of work. Yes, the emails needs to be set up properly. Yes, this thing needs to be set up at least once. But once it's set up, like now, it's going to be easy. This weekend, I'm going to create the next event. I've got 8 weeks to get the presentation ready, but I just create the concept, the description. I put it out there. I start promoting it. And the email sequences are there. The automations are there. The lead magnets, the 3 campaigns that we're running are there. The time and the effort for me to adjust and tweak this strategy is minimal. And again, like this has been generating calls before the event, has generated a lot of calls after the event, and the event happened last week. So guess what? Now we can access to all these people, like 1,000 people that come into the event, and say, hey, how come you didn't book a call? You can have a conversation with them. You can send them an email. And it is very, very easy. And the most important thing to me is that I don't need to, or my team doesn't need to be talking to people all day, sending spammy messages or stuff that's gonna piss people off. By the way, welcome, Brad. We've already gone through over almost all the presentation, but if you want the replay, you let me know, man, and I'll send it to you when it's ready. So does it make sense? Do you guys have a question? And we got time, so ask me anything you want, because I promise this is probably one of the most liberating strategies I ever used on LinkedIn. And again, you know, like what you want is to, I love doing the live speaking events. It's my jam. I love the automations. I'm an engineer. It's easy for me to set up. And I enjoy it. I could be doing that all day long. But, you know, even if you don't like it, speaking on a stage, I really recommend that you learn a little bit how to do it if it's not your jam, because it's gonna change your sales. It's gonna change the way your audience perceives you. And if you don't like the software and the automation and all these things, it's totally fine as well. You can either hire someone to do that, or you can just, you know, like do it yourself once and then it's done. Any questions? Brad, thanks, man. Thanks for jumping on, brother. Any questions? If there is no questions, it's because it was super clear or super complicated. Which which one? No questions, crystal clear. Great. When am I gonna see it implemented in your profiles? By the way, if you guys need help implementing this stuff, you can reach out. The ones that are already my clients, you know that you can reach out to me. The ones that are not my clients, you can also reach out and we can have a chat. How many emails do you set up per campaign? Let me show you. So we got marketing, we got the campaigns, no, automation. I guess that you're seeing my screen. So I got here the Iconic CEO workshop sequences. Here I got the first email that said the welcome email. When someone signs up, or they say, they actually only thing they say is yes to the LinkedIn event. I don't create a landing page or registration page, no connections with Zoom. Like everything is so simple, straightforward. It's that simple. When they say yes, automatically they receive an email say, hey, welcome, you secured your spot for the workshop. Here's the workbook, here are the instructions, blah blah blah, whatever you want to say in the emails. First email, welcome you. And then we got what I call the sequence. Hey Henry, no worries, man. Thanks for jumping on, and reach out anytime. I'm happy to run to you. Okay,
it's nice being your Carlos. I'll be in touch with you.
Absolutely, man. Thanks, Henry. Talk soon. So, and then we have the sequence here, and again, this doesn't need to be like that, but what I have here is an email 7 days before the workshop. I've got another one 2 days, and I've got one 24 hours, 1 hour, 10 minutes. This is to me already a lot. I would say that you could probably skip the 1 hour meeting and leave the 10 minutes, because getting people registered is one thing, being people attending is another thing. Now, if they decide to jump in 2 months in advance when you start promoting, you can add a few more emails here. So, you know, you could say, for example, next week, I'm going to start promoting the other one. So I'm probably going to add a couple more emails. But it's easy to say, hey, just to remind you, put it in your calendar, make sure that you get there. By the way, this is what we're going to learn there. And if you want to get a sneak peek of what you're going to learn, please click on that video, and you can use these sequences to nurture your audience, to add more value and help them understand who you are, what you do, even sharing some details from your results or your client results. These are the two sequences. Again, you create them once and then you forget about them. Next week, if the workshop is not called the CEO TEDx, I'm going to change the name of here. I'm going to change a couple of details on the emails. It's going to take me like 10 minutes, 30 minutes to tweak it. Now, then we have the follow-up. There's a couple of emails here, very simple emails. And these emails were sent at the end of the email, follow-up email one. And it's as simple as that. Hey, we had a blast, more than 900 people registered. As promised, here is your assessment and the link for my book, because that was the promise that we were going to be giving to everyone attending. And that's all. There's no call to action, no pitch, no nothing. It's just, hey, here's my gift. And then there is another one, which is, hey, do you want to work with us? And it's as simple as that. It just says, hey, Liz, I hope you enjoyed the workshop last Wednesday. Would you like to work with us to increase your income and make it to a TEDx stage in 2022? Carlos, and you get a lot of responses from this, and some people are qualified. They book a call right away. I didn't even put the link to book a call. When they say, yes, I would like to, then I send them the link. And that generated like about 10 more calls. You could preferably put the link here, and then you don't even have to respond. But I like to give a little bit of a personal touch.